Alright, let's start this video off right. Got the list. This is a bunch of stuff. I got a whole lot more. What I'm going to do this time, I sort of made a mini list. I am going to get the fuel set up, of course. Sand and paint the subframe. Got to clean that up. I'll do that next. Get to that in a second. Finish the braces. Just got to finish the welds over there. Fluids. I'll probably do that once the engine's in the car. Engine put in and figure out some wiring. This. Oh yeah, and when I do the fuel, I'm going to purge it or empty it or do something so I don't put nasty gas in there. Top it off and go from there. This, I can get the thing started up and running. That, which is, I don't know, maybe a third of what's actually left, we'll do later on. But I just want to throw this thing in there and get it running first. So, now I'm going to clean this up, degrease it, get it all sanded and prepped, and then I'll paint it. And I'll probably do the same thing with the drive shift. No, that's too much work for right now. I just want to start it. So, there we go. Now it's time to sand it down and then acetone it. Alright, now it's time to finish the welds on the little braces here. Now we can grind those down and get them all painted up. You know how I always say you can't fix stupid? There's a blanket down there. I don't remember why I put it down there, but caught fire from sparks from welding. And I just got done painting the garage, the outside of the garage, so I can't shut the garage door. So I'm sitting here with welding and burnt blanket fumes. And then I didn't move it and caught it on fire again. Alright guys, time to get this build going, huh? So, I'm getting some excitement back. For the past 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 months, this car just hasn't been a priority of mine. I've had so many other things that I needed to do on top of this, whether it be work or family or stuff on the house or whatever. You understand, hopefully. So it's back up higher on the priority list. You can tell I'm getting a little bit more excited about it. I filmed some stuff a few months ago for this video. I don't even remember. I didn't even look back and see what I filmed. But the goal of this video is to get the thing running. Now you will be able to tell by the title whether I got it running or not. So technically, at this point in the video, you know whether I get it running or not, but I don't know right now. Does that make sense? So, got some stuff in line. It's time to get going on this thing, get it running. Alright, so I went and bought some junk for this. Coffee, because it's morning. This will be replaced by beer once it turns evening. I'm taking off from work today, actually, so this entire day I'm working on the car. How exciting is that? Hose clamps. I have a bunch of assorted fuel lines. I'm going to sort of, it's not going to be ghetto, but it'll be sort of temporary how I'm going to rig that up. When I get to that, I'll explain more about that. I had a clutch come with the transmission, but I don't know if it'll focus, but the thing's totally shot. So I plan on dropping the engine in, but I don't have a flywheel or a functional clutch. I plan on dropping the engine in today, but I don't have a functional clutch or a flywheel or even a starter. So those are on order. They'll be here later in the week. And obviously, the engine in will help me get things going. I've also found I had a Willwood Clutchmaster cylinder. I'm laying around from one of my RX-7 builds, and look at the difference in those two things. Problem is, I think this is going to be too big to clear the shock tower. So when I get to that point, I may have to massage that if I have the space. So right now, I am going to... Shit, what am I going to do first? I guess I'm going to start doing the fuel first. So I'm going to... My idiot self painted over these. I didn't mask it, but that doesn't matter. I'm going to cut these here and here. These itty bitty fuel lines. This is the feed line's 5/16. The return is 1/4 inch. But I'm going to cut them and reflare them so that I can mount the fuel filter right here. And yeah, I'll get going on that first. Alrighty, my cheap $80 camera shit the bed on me, so using my phone, which I probably should use anyway. It's probably higher quality. So here's what I got done. I guess off camera since it broke. Cleaned up the fuel lines, flared them. This is the part that I was talking about that's sort of half ghetto, because I guess I didn't trust just one clamp there to seal it, so I put two. Whatever, it's not going to be here forever anyway. I'm going to run steel braided lines throughout once I start to make power and legitimately drive this thing, which, let's be honest, that's a far ways away. So got that mounted up. I bent this line to go around the AC that plugs up there, so it goes around, tucks up underneath that lip, comes around, and then it'll plug into the engine there. So that'll be plenty. It's not too fancy, but it'll work just to get it started. I went and bought a flywheel, clutch, and pressure plate, just a bone stock one, because it was cheap and that's what I need to get this thing running and eventually moving. And I needed the flywheel, of course, but I got all that for 50 bucks, so can't complain there. Went and got a $40 eBay starter. Let's hope that this thing isn't just a giant turd. Obviously all we need to do is crank the engine, so hopefully it'll do its job. So gonna put those things on the transmission engine, and then I'm going to put the subframe in, and then I'm going to put the engine in, top it off with some fluids, plug in the harness, figure out what I need to do to boot up the ECU, which should be pretty easy, just enough to get it running, right? So I basically just need power to it. And then turn the fuel pump on, power up the ECU, hit the starter. Is that it? That might be it. And hope that nothing goes wrong. I got to throw manifolds on. I might rig up some sort of muffler just so that it's not open manifold in my garage, but we shall see. I'm getting excited. Alright, so I'm putting the engine in, and this is sketch. I just got that to cover up subframe from getting too scratched. So I have, I don't know, 5 feet from here to here, right? And with the engine hoist on the engine, I have to go at an angle there. That's as far back as I can get. And then I'm going to pick up the transmission, set it on there, twist it a little bit, and then I can rotate this that way and shove it in. Really sketch. But because I removed that front part, it's doable. Also, to make it even more sketch, I have to stand on this side and pull on this, because the whole left side or right side or whatever you want to call it of this thing lifts up because the engine's further on the right side. How's that for sketch? I'll get it done though, just for you guys, all 100 of you that watch. Let's continue the sketchiness. I have it hooked up to there and there so I could ratchet it over this way so the thing is more stable. And then I'm pushing the whole thing there, and I'll be able to pop that in pretty soon. So it's actually going to work. But this is what happens when you got a crappy engine hoist and not enough room to do this. we go. You may not see it because I'll be in the way, but I don't feel like moving the camera. So look at this, straight, 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 to the right. I don't know if you can tell, but this thing is bugged. I'm gonna have to fix that. Anyway, you can see how much easier it is once it gets going. I'll go ahead and finish this up. Meet you afterwards. Yep, I survived. It's in. Cut that long for now, just in case it's got to go around the brake booster or whatever. I might end up cutting it short, but we'll see. Look how much room it's got. It's a lot of room under the hood. Fit a blower underneath there. Time for the drive shaft. Nice and clean. Whoa, time to dig in. Got it. All right. Time to put exhaust manifolds on that. How weird is that? Wow. Anyway, I don't know if I have a big enough selection. Let's see if I can remember what's what. These two turds are, I believe, F-body ones from a while ago. I think that and that are maybe truck manifolds. And then those are the C6 Corvette manifolds. So, I had planned on just running those two. But I'll do whatever concoction I have to do. So time to do that now. So this next part was a bit trivial. I had to go back online and look up how to. I haven't done it for several years, so I had to go back and look up instructions for it and stuff. But it all came back to me. So yeah, I'll check out, or you'll check out here what I'm talking about. All right. So what I'm talking about is, you know, putting oil in an engine. It's been, I don't know, 3 years since I've done it. So apparently what you have to do is you buy this oil stuff, and there's also some cylinders that you screw into the bottom of the engine, and you have to get this cone-shaped device here, and the cap is, there it is, and you take this cap off, and that's where you, using that cone, you put the cone in there and you pour the oil into there after you screwed on that piece on the bottom. Like I said, it's been a while since I've done it, so I had to brush up on it again, but that'll be my next big task. Okay, great, got that figured out. Didn't get it on video. I was having a little bit of trouble making a huge mess, but then I realized that I had that cone on upside down. So once I flip that back around, we're good to go. Wiring's coming around. I'm about to do some exhaust work. However, you'll get a kick out of this. I decided for some reason just to mess around with the throttle. Watch, here's what I saw. Whoops. Glad I did that. It's a bunch of paper towels that I had wadded up inside the intake. Made some ghetto exhaust going down to mufflers I had laying around, so that when I start it, it's not obnoxious. Alright, here we go. The pass lock, I thought it had VATs, but it's got pass lock, so I have to tune that out, so it'll run for like a second or two, if it runs. It's got the ECU powered up, and the fuel pump is on whenever I switch it on. And this is the starter, and if this thing has enough juice, then we'll either blow up or the engine will start for a second. I'd say that battery's a little dead. It cranked though. Alright, take two. That wasn't strong enough. So we got it jumped. I hear the fuel pump. That battery's not dead and it's not working. Alright. Take two. Well, three. The car was in gear, so it was trying to push the whole thing. So now we're jumping it again. I don't know.
I'm not sure I got a good charger to that. So.
Something's goofy. What the hell is that squeak? Is that the starter just not strong enough? Yeah. Awesome. eBay.
You want to give it some gas?
No. Woo! Alright, fail. I think it's the starter. It's not the engine. It's got to be the starter. Went and got a $40 eBay starter. Let's hope that this thing isn't just a giant turd. Obviously all we need to do is crank the engine, so hopefully it'll do its job. Hopefully it'll do its job. Hopefully it'll do its job.